Heavy Lift Helicopter Acquisition Project of the Philippine Air Force. The Philippine Air Force, PAF, has embarked on the acquisition of heavy lift helicopters as part of its second list of Horizon 2 phase projects. This project will provide the PAF with larger helicopters than what it currently has, to fit certain combat and peacetime requirements in tactical airlift and heliborne operations. The Philippine Air Force has been eyeing heavy-lift helicopters since the 1970s, with the Boeing CH-47 Chinook already being considered during modernization programs for the last 40 years. In 1978, the U.S. government actually considered selling the CH-47D Chinook, which was a new variant back then, in lieu of a request for 36 units of DHC-5 Buffalo medium-lift aircraft. According to U.S. declassified reports, if contract was signed for the CH-47D Chinook, they were projected to enter service with the PAF by 1981. But this did not push through due to the Philippine economy's poor performance. The 1995 AFP modernization program also listed a requirement for heavy-lift helicopters, with a total of 4 units requested to enter between 1995 to 2010. The CH-47D Chinook was also eyed by the PAF to meet this requirement. Again, due to the poor performance of the Philippine economy, the entire program did not push through, including the acquisition of heavy-lift helicopters. A requirement for heavy-lift helicopters again surfaced when the AFP modernization program was revised and extended to cover years 2013 to 2027. But it was programmed to be included in the Horizon 3 phase of the new project. Since the AFP and DND have an option to front-load projects depending on requirements, the Heavy Lift Helicopter Acquisition Project was moved to the second list of Horizon 2 phase, which is an offshoot of the Horizon 2 phase depending if the government has extra funds available to front-load Horizon 3 projects. Again, the CH-47 Chinook family was eyed by the Philippine Air Force, this time a newer variant called the CH-47F being available fresh from the factory. Other helicopters were also considered including the Augusta Westland AW101, as well as medium helicopters like the Airbus H225M Caracal, and the Russian helicopters MiL-171 Shiship. Originally, the PAF's technical working group decided that the CH-47F Chinook was the only helicopter that met the PAF's requirements for heavy-lift helicopters, which made it closer for the PAF to acquire the CH-47F Chinook. But it appears that this was overturned by the Department of National Defense, DND, which asked the PAF to reconsider its specifications due to political reasons. According to Max Defense Philippines, the president himself could be involved in the decision of the DND to push the PAF to reconsider. It was reported by Max Defense Philippines that Pres. Rodrigo Duterte was not in favor of the Philippine Air Force and DND's decision to select the Sikorsky S-70I Blackhawk for its combat utility helicopter requirements, wherein 16 units were ordered for less than PHP 13 billion. But in the end, the president allowed the deal with Sikorsky to push through under one condition, that the PAF should also order helicopters from Russia, either transport or attack helicopters, or both. With the PAF in a tight situation, the heavy lift helicopter project was again re-evaluated with changes in the specifications, and it was recommended in the end that the MiL-171 meets the PAF's revised requirements and is the most ideal due to the number of helicopters, quantity. The Russians have agreed to sell based on the PHP 12.8 billion budget. while Russia agreed to sell 16 Mi-171 helicopters, with a potential donation of one Mi-171 helicopter for VIP requirements. Apparently Boeing was only able to offer 4 units under Foreign Military Sales (FMS) program, or 5 units under Direct Commercial Sales (DCS) program. Negotiations with Russia's Rosoboronexport export commenced in 2018. Although issues related to the U.S. countering America's adversaries through Sanctions Act (CAATSA) was deemed to be an obstacle to a deal being reached between the DND and Rosoboronexport export. It was noted that as of March 2019, a new Russian state shell company SOVTECHNOEXPORT appears to be the one handling the deal between the Philippines DND and Russia on the potential acquisition of the Mi-171 helicopter. As of third quarter 2020, a Notice of Award, NOAA, was awarded in favor of the Russian government, although it remains to be seen if it was through SOVTECHNOEXPORT or ROSOBORONEXPORT. Since the Mi-171 is actually a medium helicopter rather than a heavy-lift helicopter, it remains a question as to why the Philippine Air Force decided to use the heavy-lift helicopter acquisition project as it means to acquire the Mi-171, rather than front-load the medium-lift helicopter acquisition project, which is also slated under Horizon 3 phase, as it is more appropriate for the helicopter being sought after. Also, since the PAF actually has requirements for helicopters that are larger than the Mi-171, will they be raising a new heavy-lift helicopter acquisition project under the Horizon 3 phase, with specifications closer to than of the CH-47F Chinook rather than medium helicopters like the Mi-171?